Unexpected circuit breaker trips can be disruptive, especially with older systems. When a breaker trips with no apparent overload, several factors could be at play. Given the age of the Westinghouse circuit breakers, around 30 years old, installed at the facility, and the fact that they are equipped with electronic sensors for instantaneous trip settings, the following issues should be considered. Firstly, aging electronics is a major concern. Over time, the components within the electronic sensor can degrade. This deterioration can lead to false trips, even when the actual current draw is well within the breaker's rating, as in the instance of the 200 amp breaker tripping at a 70 amp load. Secondly, loose or faulty connections. Even if they appear tight upon visual inspection, subtle issues can cause intermittent tripping. Vibration, thermal cycling, and corrosion can all contribute to connection problems that may not be immediately obvious. Thirdly, overheating can significantly impact the performance of electronic components. Check the circuit breaker and surrounding areas for any signs of excessive heat, such as discoloration, charring, or a burning odor. Overheating can stem from loose connections, excessive ambient temperature, or internal component failure. Fourthly, transient voltage spikes can falsely trigger the instantaneous trip function of the electronic sensor. These sudden surges in voltage can originate from various sources, including lightning strikes, utility switching, or the operation of heavy equipment within the facility. Fifthly, faulty wiring is another potential cause. Damage to the insulation, loose terminations, or even improperly sized conductors can lead to unexpected trips. Rodent damage, physical stress, and age can all compromise the integrity of wiring. Finally, a defective circuit breaker is always a possibility, even if it was recently tested and calibrated. Internal components can fail over time, leading to erratic behavior. When troubleshooting these Westinghouse circuit breakers, the following steps should be taken systematically. Firstly, inspect all connections thoroughly. Visually examine each connection point within the circuit breaker panel, including the breaker terminals, the bus bar connections, and the wiring terminations. Look for signs of corrosion, looseness, or damage. Tighten any loose connections to the manufacturer's specified torque. Secondly, test the connections to ensure their integrity. Use a voltmeter to measure the voltage drop across each connection while the circuit is under load. A significant voltage drop indicates a high resistance connection, which can cause heat and lead to tripping. Additionally, use a continuity tester to verify that there are no open circuits or high resistance paths within the wiring. Thirdly, check for overheating. Use a non-contact infrared thermometer to measure the temperature of the circuit breaker, the surrounding bus bars, and the wiring connections. Compare these temperature readings to the ambient temperature and to the manufacturer's specifications. If any components are significantly hotter than expected, investigate the cause of the overheating. Fourthly, analyze voltage spikes to determine if any transient voltage fluctuations are occurring. Install a voltage monitor or transient voltage surge suppressor to record the voltage levels over time. This data can reveal the presence of voltage spikes that may be triggering the breaker's instantaneous trip function. Fifthly, examine the wiring connected to the circuit breaker for any signs of damage or loose connections. Carefully inspect the insulation for cracks, cuts, or abrasions. Check the Y terminations for corrosion or looseness. If any damage is found, repair or replace the wiring as necessary. Sixthly, replace the electronic sensor if it is suspected to be faulty. This should be done by a qualified electrician who is familiar with Westinghouse circuit breakers. Ensure that the replacement sensor is compatible with the breaker and is properly calibrated. Seventhly, replace the circuit breaker if all other troubleshooting steps fail to identify the cause of the tripping. This is the last resort, but it may be necessary if the breaker itself is defective. When replacing the breaker, ensure that the new breaker has the same ampacity, voltage rating, and interrupting capacity as the original. It is also important to ensure that it is compatible with the existing panel. Furthermore, consider these additional points. Contact Westinghouse or an authorized service provider for professional assistance. They have specialized knowledge and experience with these circuit breakers and can provide valuable insights and support. Also, regularly test and maintain the circuit breakers to detect any potential issues early on. This includes visual inspections, insulation resistance testing, and contact resistance testing. Finally, consider upgrading to newer circuit breakers with more advanced sensing and protection capabilities. Modern circuit breakers offer improved reliability, accuracy, and features such as arc fault detection and ground fault protection. Electronic trip circuit breakers offer several advantages over traditional thermal magnetic circuit breakers, including more precise and adjustable trip settings, better protection against overloads and short circuits, and the ability to communicate with a building's energy management system. However, electronic trip circuit breakers are also more complex and can be more susceptible to failure due to aging, voltage transients, and other factors. The instantaneous trip function on a circuit breaker is designed to trip the breaker almost immediately when a very high current, such as a short circuit, is detected. This protects the circuit and equipment from damage caused by the fault current. The instantaneous trip setting is typically adjustable, but it should be set carefully to avoid nuisance tripping. A 200 amp circuit breaker tripping at a 70 amp load, even after testing and calibration, strongly suggests a problem with the breaker itself or with the electronic trip unit. Given the age of the breakers, the electronic components are the most likely source of the problem. Electronic components such as capacitors and resistors can drift in value over time, causing the trip unit to misinterpret the current flowing through the breaker. Even if the breaker was recently calibrated, the components may have drifted further out of specification since then. If the breakers are critical to the operation of the facility, it may be prudent to replace them with new ones, even if the cause of the tripping cannot be definitively identified. This will ensure that the circuits are properly protected and will reduce the risk of future tripping events. When replacing the breakers, it is important to choose breakers that are compatible with the existing panel and that have the same ampacity, voltage rating, and interrupting capacity as the original breakers. It is also important to install the breakers correctly and to test them to ensure that they are functioning properly. In addition to the above steps, it is also important to consider the following. The environment in which the circuit breakers are installed can affect their performance. If the breakers are installed in a hot, humid, or dusty environment, they may be more likely to fail. The type of load that the circuit breakers are protecting can also affect their performance. If the breakers are protecting a motor or other inductive load, they may be more likely to trip due to inrush current. Inrush current is the high current that flows when a motor is first started. The circuit breaker's trip setting should be adjusted to accommodate the inrush current. If the circuit breakers are tripping frequently, it is important to investigate the cause of the tripping and to take corrective action. Frequent tripping can damage the circuit breakers and can also create a safety hazard. Here is more information about specific troubleshooting steps. When inspecting connections, pay close attention to the terminals where the wires are connected to the breaker. Look for signs of corrosion, which can appear as a white or greenish powder. Clean any corrosion with a wire brush and apply a corrosion inhibitor to the terminals. Also, check the torque of the terminal screws to ensure that they are properly tightened. Loose connections can cause heat and voltage drop, which can lead to tripping. When testing connections with a voltmeter, measure the voltage drop across each connection while the circuit is under load. A voltage drop of more than a few tenths of a volt indicates a high resistance connection. Use a low resistance ohmmeter to measure the resistance of the connections. A resistance of more than a few milliohms indicates a high resistance connection. When checking for overheating, use a non-contact infrared thermometer to measure the temperature of the circuit breaker, the surrounding bus bars, and the wiring connections. Compare these temperature readings to the ambient temperature and to the manufacturer's specifications. If any components are significantly hotter than expected, investigate the cause of the overheating. Overheating can be caused by loose connections, excessive load, or a faulty circuit breaker. When analyzing voltage spikes, use a transient voltage surge suppressor to record the voltage levels over time. This data can reveal the presence of voltage spikes that may be triggering the breaker's instantaneous trip function. Transient voltage surge suppressors are available in a variety of configurations, including plug-in, hardwired, and panel-mounted. When examining wiring, pay close attention to the insulation. Look for cracks, cuts, or abrasions. Also, check the wire terminations for corrosion or looseness. If any damage is found, repair or replace the wiring is necessary. It is important to use the correct size and type of wire for the circuit. Using undersized wire can cause overheating and tripping. When replacing the electronic sensor, ensure that the replacement sensor is compatible with the breaker and is properly calibrated. The replacement sensor should have the same trip settings as the original sensor. It is important to follow the manufacturer's instructions when replacing the electronic sensor. When replacing the circuit breaker, ensure that the new breaker has the same ampacity, voltage rating, and interrupting capacity as the original breaker. It is also important to ensure that it is compatible with the existing panel. The interrupting capacity of the circuit breaker is the maximum amount of fault current that the breaker can safely interrupt. The interrupting capacity should be greater than the available fault current at the breaker's location. When installing the circuit breaker, follow the manufacturer's instructions carefully. Be sure to tighten the terminal screws to the specified torque. Also, be sure to properly ground the circuit breaker. Grounding is important for safety and can help to prevent electrical shock. After installing the circuit breaker, test it to ensure that it is functioning properly. Use a circuit breaker tester to verify that the breaker trips at the correct current level and that it interrupts the fault current quickly. Regular testing and maintenance of circuit breakers is important for ensuring their reliability and safety. Circuit breakers should be inspected regularly for signs of damage or wear. The connections should be tightened and the breakers should be tested to ensure that they are functioning properly. A qualified electrician should perform regular maintenance on circuit breakers. Here are some additional considerations for troubleshooting circuit breakers. Check the load and the circuit. Make sure that the load is not exceeding the circuit breaker's ampacity. If the load is too high, the circuit breaker will trip. Check the wiring for shorts or ground faults. A short or ground fault can cause the circuit breaker to trip. Use a multimeter to check the wiring for shorts or ground faults. Check the circuit breaker's trip settings. Make sure that the trip settings are appropriate for the load. The trip settings should be set to protect the circuit and equipment from damage. Check the circuit breaker's interrupting capacity. Make sure that the interrupting capacity is greater than the available fault current at the breaker's location. If the interrupting capacity is too low, the circuit breaker may fail to interrupt the fault current, which can damage the circuit and equipment. Check the circuit breaker's environment. Make sure that the circuit breaker is not installed in a hot, humid, or dusty environment. These conditions can cause the circuit breaker to fail. If you are not comfortable troubleshooting circuit breakers yourself, contact a qualified electrician. An electrician can safely and effectively troubleshoot circuit breakers and make any necessary repairs. Remember to always de-energize the circuit before working on any electrical components. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it is important to take precautions to protect yourself from electrical shock. By following these troubleshooting steps and taking the necessary precautions, it is possible to identify and resolve most circuit breaker tripping problems. These 30-year-old Westinghouse breakers, although robust in their time, are now at an age where component degradation is a very real possibility. A systematic approach to troubleshooting, combined with professional assistance when needed, will help maintain the safety and reliability of the electrical system.